Welcome, detectives, to the Buckley home. What might bring you here this fine evening? Mystery? Violence? Or perhaps you're just another unwilling blot of text in the story? No! Get out of here! Sorry about that. Some people get a bit too excited and show up before their cue. Hello there, VRChat. My name is Nuance, the owner of NARRATRIX, and this year has been a wild one. When creating the Buckley home, I wanted to make sure that anyone who went through it had an unforgettable time with a thirst for more, since the world was a promotion for a full horror map coming sometime early 2026. This was our gimmick. And that is what today's video is about, honoring different gimmicks that have made their way through VRChat in a positive manner. Gimmicks mentioned most likely aren't one of a kind, but a group or world did it in a way that made them stay in the front of my mind versus others. So this is based on what stuck out to me the most when making this video, and probably is missing out on a lot of cool tricks. Let me know either by reaching out or in the comments for you late time watchers. Also, stay tuned for a sneak peek at what 2026 is going to bring us here at the NARRATRIX. Number 10. Alright, I need to glaze myself the tiniest amount here. Ever since I made our proof of concept last year, I knew our haunted house was going to have a kidnapping feature. If you were unable to make it to our show, or perhaps had no idea who we were before this, I put the player pickup prefab and gave specific permissions to only certain actors. They, along with a speed boost, were able to chase down players and snatch them up, running off into the darkness with you or your friend. Number 9. I remember one day waking up, opening up social media, and seeing everyone abuzz about a world. That apparently you could just join one instance, and its singular button will affect every other instance that others were in. This world will be deleted in 24 hours is still going strong, almost 3 years later to this day. Monument was another more recent example where Giant Stone Tower is slowly growing larger as players build. I've witnessed players talking about the monument, and some random suddenly joins into the conversation and they bond over the amount of work they've put into a place they've never even been to together. I really hope in the near future we may be seeing something like Ghost or speedrunners go against and learn from, save files for sandbox games, and multi-instance boss battles where a group of people can challenge a single overpowered entity and maybe even be able to support or revive each other as the fight gets nasty. Number 8. In my early days of VRChat, the friends I had were obsessed with horror maps. I scare easily, so I often would elect to watch on their streams or shared screens over playing the maps. Though one day the sting of FOMO caught up after hearing one too many stories of fun times, and I agreed to do one that had been recently released. This map was known as RAR's Ride, an interactive PC VR horror ride where instead of going through the map comes to you. VR rides aren't new or noteworthy by any means, they're actually very common, but in VRChat it's more often used to tell a narrative story. And that's not even mentioning my special interest, preservation. Using VRChat as a vault for old rides that no longer exist allows those who wish to see a theme park history in their own homes have a chance to actually ride the ride accessibly. Number 7. VRChat is all about breaking the bounds of reality and pushing your limits to what you can do. And while there's many ways to push that boundary, the most popular way is through the power of arts in this game. There are many different communities who use the blend of theater, technical skills, and dance to tell a story in about a few minutes, but my heart and home goes to Lux Nova. They've actually got a booth in the New Year's World, and you should totally take a little sneaky peeky at it. Theater and acted shows in VR can be so much more creative than what you see in person, because while we do have limitations, we also have something called the law of physics don't work here. If I wanted to, I could have magic. It isn't just with performances, it's also other communities that come together in the arts, music, and fitness. These groups of VRChat allow us to have more accessible ways and inspire us to meet personal goals or try something new. If you're feeling listless with no real goals, I highly suggest you take a moment and look for these communities, because they have a real talent at pulling out a light you didn't realize you had. Number 6. When I first joined Organism, I was terrified that it was a horror map. Most popular standalone worlds in VRChat fit under one of 3 blocks: horror, hangout, and hilarious to go to. Organism isn't any of those, and its siblings are all worlds that focus on world-based storytelling, expecting you, the visitor, to take time to explore, investigate, and understand the tale that haunts the narrative. The reward is a satisfying story that, in reality, you'll probably never get the full truth on, but to me, I adore these worlds. They give you a chance to slow down and have a semi-meaningful discussion with others. Number 5. Does everyone remember April 2025 when rats took over multiple worlds in VRChat? How would you feel if I told you that wasn't the first time this has happened? Many communities collaborate, but VR Rat and another more sinister story both encompass a very specific niche that focuses on the collaboration between creators big and small to build a challenge or gag to take over VRChat by storm. Mr. Whiskers was an event where multiple world builders created challenges and ARGs in their hotspots to garner attention and excitement for a worldwide bounty hunt to build a weapon to challenge the elusive Mr. Whiskers. Certain worlds would give you a hint on what the next task was or where to go, and the people who finished the fastest got to compete in a final challenge to win it all and take down Mr. Whiskers. Number 4. Only 4 left, and this one's pretty much much the most gimmicky gimmick that gimmicked this video. A few years ago, a world was leaked in VRChat known as NARRATRIX World. This was an isometric instance that turned your avatar into the cutest little pixel character that you could control and interact with. To this day, I consider this one of the most creative things I've seen on VRChat. It was weird to experience, but also gives us a whole new way to interact and engage. It felt very out-of-body-like when done in VR. And this past Halloween, it brought a new challenger, Chiaroscuro, which had the same style but was atmospheric horror that came with a few different endings. I almost felt like I was getting digital circused in real time, if that makes sense. Breaking the boundaries of VR and telling a story are two really big key points which stick out to me the most. And at number 3, we go the opposite direction and instead use the tools given to us on day 1. Utilizing the medium, which just simply means using what VRChat has given us as a staple from day-to-day use. Summer Flare is my go-to example, being fully aware it's a VR title and reminding you at key points in the story. I don't want to spoil this amazing map for newcomers, so I think you should check it out yourself to understand what I mean. I think worlds that take the time to use features we already have in VRChat to be creative and a risk that often pays off. Second place is long-form hosting, specifically Murder Mystery, a live interactive game that can take between 3 to 6 hours with 16 players. While it would take way too long to explain all the deets, the long and short is that unlike Town of Salem, Mafia, or Werewolf, players could freely wander around the world and anyone could kill anyone. The main goal was to survive to the end and get hints on who the mastermind was, or get a successful kill and escape the lab. While they aren't quick rounds, that adds to the charm of it as people spend the entire game building relationships, allies, enemies, and suspicions over the course of one game period. It's a whole story at once, with each game being different since the players are what keep it moving forward. Overall, I highly suggest you give it a shot if you're looking for something unique and fun to do, and for beginners, we host a 3-hour game that allows you to get used to it before being thrown into the deep end. The number 1 spot is saved for a very unique gimmick. One that I don't really think counts as a gimmick, but more of a tool that has uplifted many different creators throughout VRChat. Creating experiences within the game may be accessible, but it isn't always easy, and there's a learning curve that comes with it. For me, I couldn't do a single thing at NARRATRIX without the help of Risky Kin and his amazing knowledge with code, but not everyone has this knowledge or a Risky Kin. Something as simple as making a trigger happen when you walk through a collider would take me at least 3 times as long to figure out without him. Enter Scion Trigger, a system that made the world building so much easier and intuitive for beginners like me. Countless experiences that you enjoy here in VRChat use the system, and you've probably seen the name posted up in some of your favorite worlds. From myself and many others, thank you. To Scion and all the other amazing creators who help us elevate everything we do. VRChat gives us the tools to create amazing things and can only be as unique as it is because of the people like you who help make an experience to enjoy. For the New Year's viewers, the world you're standing in is a testament to this, with communities, worlds, avatars, and people who all come together at one moment to celebrate another amazing year. Here's to hoping 2026 to be even grander than 2025. Happy New Year's VRChat! I can say that my time here... Alright. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. Enjoy your sneak peek. And that, my friend, concludes the story of the Buckley home.
What? No, that's a terrible story. There's so much missing. What were those things? Ghosts, demons? Why couldn't anyone else see them?
Curious, aren't you? Well, you're new here, so I guess it's understandable. The NARRATRIX tells all kinds of stories, but we do not get to decide when they end.
Mom, I see someone.
She's been cooped up for months now. My brother would be heartbroken if he knew she was destroying her life like this. We're all grieving what happened on Easter, but it's time to move on. I'm not letting you rot in that room for another minute.
Get out of my way.
We can make our last moments happier. Isn't that a good thing?
Are we playing hide and seek?
All in all, we just want to say thank you so much for coming to our show in 2025, and I cannot wait to show you what we have planned for 2026's Halloween. It's going to be scarier, darier, and way fairier than...
Hey.
Yeah?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Do we have to? Oh. Ren Fair 2026 this summer. Be there.
Skippy!
It's gonna be so much work.
Why are we cheering?